everybody, it's Adele and welcome to my channel Sew for Serenity. Welcome back to those of you that already watch my videos, and if you're a new watcher, hello, and I hope you like what you see. First of all, I just want to say thank you everybody that subscribed to my channel and watches my videos. I am now on, I think, about 860 subscribers, which is absolutely fantastic, and I'm really keen to get to that 1,000 subscription mark. I think it'd be a great milestone, and to do it so quickly just means the world. So I'm really glad you're enjoying my content. So I also want to say thank you to a couple of fellow vloggers, YouTube vloggers. Emma, who is absolutely fantastic. She has a channel called So Do It Emma, and she's been around for quite a while. I just love her videos. She has just got a really lovely chatty style. She's got a really great style. She's really body confident, really great fabric choices, and just shares everything about her life and sewing. And I really want to say thank you to her because she mentioned me in her most recent vlog. I'll click a link to her card for you. And yeah, she's just it was really nice of her to do that, so I appreciate it. So I said I'd return the favour. So any of you that don't watch her or subscribe, please check out her channel, because if you like my content, you'll love her content. She's had loads of success recently. She's going to be a brand ambassador for Backstitch, and she's also does a lot of vlogging for the Rag Shop, who I haven't actually ordered any fabric from, so I do need to check them out. And then also she's just featured in Sewing Magazine as well, one of the sewing magazines, which I can't remember which one it is, but I will put the details down. So yeah, check out her spreading that magazine. So yeah. So I also want to say thank you to Liz, the baker that sews, which I'm sure all of you know. She's like one of my idols. I just think she's amazing how quickly she gets things sewn up. She's very creative. She's not scared of colours, of prints. And one of the things I really love and admire about her is she's such a passionate school teacher. I put a message on her YouTube to just say, your children are really lucky to have you, and if my children had a teacher half as passionate as she is, I'd count myself really lucky. She's always thinking about the children. She makes items of clothing to wear in her classroom to engage the children. I think her class is called Tiger Class, and she made a tiger top. They were doing some work around the fire service, so she saw some material with fire engines on to make a top as well. So yeah, I just think that's really special. And when you're at school, you always have that teacher that you'll remember even when you're older. And I think that if she was my teacher, she'd definitely be somebody that I'd just remember and see as just a really inspiring teacher. So yeah, she also mentioned me, which obviously she has a really big reach, and I know that a few of you have come over from her channel, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then the other lady that I'd like to talk about is an American lady called Fatmata, and she is just really brilliant sewist. She sews a lot of the big four patterns. She's kind of a bit of a pattern addict, actually. She goes thrifting, she buys a lot of vintage patterns, she does a lot of hacks of the patterns. So if that's something you're interested in, you should check her out. I'll put her details of her channel down below. And yeah, we might be doing something quite exciting soon with some kind of collaboration. So yeah, we're in talks about that at the moment. So yeah, I'll put all the links to all of those YouTube channels in my notes, and yeah, check them out. The other thing that I wanted to say is, if you don't subscribe already, please can you click the subscribe button? Let's take a moment to do that now. Thank you. So enough of that anyway. So welcome to my Friday sews on the 28th of January. Can't believe it's the end of January already. And I'll start off by what I'm wearing. So If any of you follow me on Instagram, which is Sofa Serenity if you want to follow me, I've shared a picture of this today. This is my Sirocco Jumpsuit by Deer and Doe. And I'll stand up so you can see it a little bit, but I will put a picture in. I'm absolutely in love with this. It's so comfy. I will talk about it in a little bit more detail later. But I think it's Liz the baker that sews says they're like secret pyjamas, and oh my god, they are like secret pyjamas. It's so comfy, so snuggly. I just could have gone to bed in it last night when I was wearing it. I just love it. So I'll talk about that in a minute once we talk about this week's makes. What have I been up to this week? Well, a couple of things. Now, they are all sewing related, but they might not seem so related when I first start talking about them. The first thing is, on Sunday last week, I went to have my makeup trial for my wedding. For those of you that haven't watched me or have missed the episodes where I've talked about that, I'm hopefully getting married in May. I say hopefully because I was meant to get married in 2020, but because of COVID, that was actually postponed. So my wedding is on the 7th of May this year, which is coming around really quickly. And I had my makeup trial on Sunday, and I had to go to her house for well, I didn't have to, but I went there to have the trial because if I'd had it here, the kids would have been here and I wouldn't have had any peace. So I drove over to her house, and she was on the other side of Birmingham, which is where I live in the Midlands. And on the way over there, you'll never guess where I drove past. Guthrie and Garney. Oh my god, I was like, I'm surprised I didn't crash. I was just driving because I was so like this. But it was actually shut because it was a Sunday. But I was like, I can't believe I found it. Well, can't believe I've seen it. So it kind of made me think, I need to visit that shop. So anyway, I went for my makeup trial and she did an amazing job. She was really, really lovely. Her name was Rachel, and she did a beautiful job on my makeup, made me feel really lovely. It was a bit unfortunate that I was coming home and actually not going anywhere because I could have gone out for something nice to eat or something. But yeah, I just came home and that was it. But yeah, so that kind of put Guthrie and Garney in my head. So then on Thursday, I had a day's holiday. So what did I do? I went to Guthrie and Garney. So yeah, the fabric ban is officially over. I've scrapped it. I can't do it. I'm not on a fabric ban because it's just a ridiculous thing to put myself on. All of you have been saying to me, just buy the fabric. If you like it, just buy it. So I'm not on a fabric ban anymore. So you'll be seeing lots of fabric haul videos all the time. So yeah, I did go to Guthrie and Garney, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm going to do a separate vlog on my visit to Guthrie and Garney. I took a little bit of footage, and obviously I've got my fabric haul to show you. So after this, I'm going to record that separately, which won't be too long, but it will be just a separate video. So yeah, so they're the main news. Canned my fabric ban and went to Guthrie and Garney. The other thing that has happened, which is again kind of sewing related but not sewing related, as I shared in my last video, this is my sewing space. It is also my workspace because I work from home now since the pandemic. I have it in my bedroom, so my bed's over there. I have my sewing space, my workspace and everything all in this room, and it's really, really off-putting at night because it's not a tranquil place to be. Obviously I'll try and keep it as tidy as possible, but when you're sewing and you're halfway through a project, it's really, really difficult to keep it tidy. You know, I've got works in progresses here and there. There's always pins all over the floor, which my partner goes mad about. It's a carpet in the bedroom. I'm just looking at all the threads on the floor now actually. It's a carpet in the bedroom, so the threads are really hard to get up. And it's just not ideal. And also, when I'm working, I keep looking at my sewing machine wanting to sew. So that's not ideal either. Also, I have 3 children. I had my third child, she'll be 2 in February, so 2 years ago. And although we have a 4-bedroom house, her bedroom is like the box room, and she doesn't really have anywhere for her toys or to play. And in the lounge at the moment, all of her toys are there, and it's just not really ideal. So we've been talking, me and my partner have been talking, well, my partner's called John, by the way, so I refer to him as John. So me and John have been talking about potentially getting a conservatory on the back of the house, off the lounge, which we could have as one of these multifunctional rooms. So it could be my office, it could be my sewing room, and it could also be Alice's playroom. So last week we had someone come out and give us a quote, and we went ahead with it. We've paid a deposit, and it's going to be done in 8 weeks. So in 8 to 10 weeks, I will have a new sewing room, and also a playroom, and also a study, but I'm not excited about those. So that is great news. It's going to be just beautiful, especially in the summer with all the sun coming in. Obviously, I'm going to have to protect my fabrics and not have them on display. But yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I will bring you along on that journey as well. And I might even give you some choices around decor and style and everything around my sewing room, to get you involved. And then obviously I'll do a sewing room tour as well. So I'm really excited about that. So watch this space on that. So that's more my kind of sewing related news and what I've been doing this week. So what I've actually been sewing, which is what you're probably interested in. So the first thing I've been sewing, as I mentioned, is this lovely Sirocco Jumpsuit by Deer and Doe. I've made it in this spotty fabric. I think it's an ITY, because it's so soft, jersey that I got from Pound Fabrics, and this was the one that was £2.50 a metre, so I'd got 2 metres of this. And if you remember, I wasn't sure I could fit the Sirocco jumpsuit on this, because I think it called for 2.5 metres, the pattern, and I wanted to do this as a twirl because I wanted to make the Sirocco out of the fabric that I got, which is this fabric from the Sew Hayley Jane luxury box this month. And just to let you know, they have got this at Guthrie and Garney. I saw it yesterday. They've got it in this with the silver, and they've got it in grey with gold metallic. Oh, that is gorgeous as well. So yeah, if you want some of this fabric, they have got it in stock there. So yeah, I wanted to do this twirl before I cut into this fabric because I'd never done any trousers before, and although I knew this was elasticated waist and it was stretchy material, I wouldn't be too many issues with fitting. I didn't really want to cut into that first, so I did this as a twirl with inexpensive fabric. So it cost me £5 to make this, and I couldn't be happier with the results, to be honest with you. It's so comfy, it's so flattering, and it is just the comfiest thing ever. So again, I'll just stand up again. It's got this lovely pleat detail here. I don't know if you can see it very well, that tucks in, and it's got the 2 pleats on the back, and I think that's what makes it so flattering. And it's got a waistband, pockets, which are absolutely gorgeous, a tapered leg. It is actually short sleeves on the pattern, but I hacked it and made it long, well, 3/4 length, because I didn't have enough fabric to do full length sleeves, but I do really love a 3/4 length sleeve. And then it's got this band here, and yeah, it's just a really nice fit. I made the size, I think 38. Let me just get the pattern. This is the pattern. I made the size 38, and actually I probably would size down to the size 36 next time, because it's a little bit baggier here. I mean, I think I could take some of that out with doing the seam allowance on this is 1 centimetre. I think I could make it 1.5, and that would have lifted that up a bit. But it does fit really lovely. But you know, when I've looked at the difference between the 38 and the 36 and the 38 size, it's not that much different. So it's really simple instructions. The only notions you need is some clear elastic for the pockets to reinforce the pockets. The waist isn't elasticated, it's just the stretch of the material, which is why it needs to be a 60% stretch. But this was super stretchy. I just need to check that this is, yeah, this has still got 60%, but it's not as stretchy as this one. The fabric was really easy to work with. It was slippery, a little bit slippery, but I just used lots of pins and that was fine. And I predominantly made this on my overlocker. I put the neckband on, basted the neckband in first and then overlocked it. The one thing that I did have to do was, so there's 2 alterations that I made. I took 2 inches out of the leg pattern pieces because I am about 5'3.5", and these patterns are usually drafted for 5'5", 5'6". So I find I always take 2 inches out of a trouser. I usually take it out the bottom half of the if there's an option, I'll take it out the bottom half of the leg, because that's where my shortest bit is, my knee to my ankle. And I also once I'd made it, I found that here where the crotch is, sorry, now I'm showing you everyone my crotch, this hung quite low. Now I don't think anyone would have noticed, but I knew, and it felt quite baggy there. So what I did, I'll insert a picture to check, because initially I was like, do I need to take it out of this waistband bit here, and took that up, and then I thought, no, that doesn't make sense, that's gonna ruin the look, I don't know how I'm gonna do that. And then I thought, actually I need to raise the crotch. So what I did was, I'll insert a picture, I base stitched around, as you can see in the picture, higher up in the crotch, tried it back on to see if that made a difference, and it did. So then I overlocked it to cut that excess out, and that made a massive difference. So when I make it again, I will alter the pattern piece for a slightly higher crotch. Yeah. And the only other thing that I might do next time is, as I say, I might size down actually slightly, because I think they are a little bit baggy in the leg. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really show you there. Well, you see in the picture, they're a little bit baggy in the leg, but I don't really mind that. They're quite comfy, and I just wore them with some like pumps, but you could wear them with a heel, and I think it'd look gorgeous in a plain fabric. The fabric that I got from my Sherwood's haul, that clock in the red burgundy, if that's got enough stretch, I think that would look lovely in this, and that would look really nice dressed up with a nice necklace and like black ankle boots or something. So I really love this pattern. It was really beginner friendly. If you're a beginner and you want to do something in stretch, I think this is a really good one. The most difficult part, what was the most difficult part? The pleat. Oh, I didn't think the pleats weren't really hard either, because you just base the top. So pockets and the pleats are the most complex thing really. But yeah, I mean, the only thing I did differently was it tells you to put the sleeves in when the bodice is put together, whereas I prefer to put them in flat, so I just did it flat. I top stitched, you can't see, I actually used my twin needle and tops, because I was so happy with this, I top stitched it. I didn't want to do the zigzag stitch, and I'm really happy with how that's turned out. I'm going to get my twin needle out a little bit more than I do currently, because I think it does give a really lovely finish. And the pattern piece so this is the pattern piece that you get for the sleeve, and this is how I just altered it. I just looked at the Freya, because the Freya has a 3/4 length. The Freya by Tilly and the Buttons has a 3/4 length sleeve, so I just kind of traced that out and adjusted it and copied it. And I wanted to have full length sleeves, but as I say, I only had 2 meters of this fabric, and I know I'm shorter, so I do take 2 inches out of the leg. But if you were making the short sleeve version of this and you were a similar size to me, or a little bit bigger and definitely smaller, you could definitely get this out of 2 meters. I struggled a little bit with, I had to do a lot of like moving around to get, because of this length here, but I did do it eventually. So yeah, if you were doing the short sleeve, you'd have no problem. And actually I did cut out the short sleeve as well, because I thought, if this doesn't work, I need to make sure that I've got sorry, that's the bin man outside, if you can hear that. I need to make sure that I've got enough fabric to put the short sleeves in if it doesn't work. So yeah, as I say, I can't talk enough about this. I think it would look nice with no sleeves as well for the summer. You could do no sleeves, and then you could have like a high neck on it. I'm looking forward to making the play suit version, although I probably would want longer. I'm not really a short person, and if I do wear shorts, I have them a bit longer because I don't like my thighs. But yeah, I'm definitely going to make that. It's so flattering and lovely. So yeah, the next thing I want to do is, this is all washed. I want to get that cut out and sewn up, because that's just it's a quick sew. I think it took me, not including cutting out, because that took a while because I was like mucking about with it, but no longer than 2 hours to sew this together. It was really quick. So yeah, that was my Sirocco jumpsuit. Sipping my tea. Sorry if I'm slurping. So what's next? I've got notes that I'm referring to, so bear with me. So the next thing was, where am I with my Vogue 9075? Well, as you'll know, I was waiting on the zip to put the zip in. I now have the zip, and it came at the beginning of the week, but I still haven't done it. And there's 2 reasons. One, I'm really scared to do it. So I'm kind of procrastinating. Second of all, I needed to watch the tutorials, and you guys have been fantastic and told me about some tutorials. So I've watched quite a few. I watched the So Essential one, which seems to be everybody's favourite, and I really, really love that method. She uses this stuff called Wonder Tape to stick, and I'll link her video or her card to that tutorial. But she uses this Wonder Tape to kind of baste the zip in place, which I thought was a fantastic idea. So I've ordered some of that, which came yesterday. And then she uses some kind of surgical tool, but basically it's like tweezers, and she does this amazing thing where she pulls the zipper out, which allows her to pull the zip all the way down. Probably not explaining it very well, but what that means is you get a really neat finish when you're closing up the bottom of the skirt or outfit that you're doing. So that was amazing. And then the other one that I watched was the Stitch Sisters, and they talked about the zipper foot. So I have had this zipper foot. All right, so I'm just going to hold this up now. So this is a zipper foot that I had. Oh, so yeah. So as you can see, the grooves are not that deep, and they're not that deep. And basically she said that she used to use this zipper foot, but now she's got this zipper foot, and the grooves on this are much deeper and curved round, so it grabs the zip. Oh god, I'm not doing it right here. Grabs the zip better. So yeah, I'll just hold them up. So they used to use that one, and they now use this one, and she said that it's completely changed her getting her zips in. And what I found with my zips is, my zipper foot doesn't prevent me, it doesn't open it up enough, and I end up going over the sewing over the teeth, which then means you can't do the zip up, and then I have to unpick it, and it's just a nightmare. So I'm hoping with the method of using a low heat to iron out the zip to get that stretched out, using this new zipper foot that I've got, and the placement method from So Essential, that the zip will be brilliant. So I've got a skirt that I've got that I've had in my work in progress for ages, for the same reason that I need to put a zip in it, that I need to put a zip in. So I'll do it in that first and test it, and then if that all goes well, I'll put the zip into the 9075. So that is top of my priority list to do for next week. So thank you very much. And then the next thing that I made is, I told you that I was joining in the Rachel by Stitched Up did a sew along, a live sew along, which was my first one that I've ever joined on Saturday night. And oh my God, it was amazing. It started at 6:30 and Rachel was amazing. She was not only sewing, she was reading the messages. This is all at the same time. Sewing, reading the messages, talking and eating her dinner while sewing. Like, it was amazing. And she was so fast as well. So I did the page hoodie, sewed along with that. This is the page hoodie. I did make this version, but there's quite a few different versions. I made the size 6, which is the equivalent of a 10. And I know a lot of people did size down because the amount of ease in this, but I didn't do that, and I find the fit is just perfect. So there's a couple of different versions of it. I did this one with the ties there and the ties there, and I did it in a blue sweatshirting, navy sweatshirting that I've had for ages, and I also did it in this cherry print that I got from Pound Fabrics. It's just a jersey, cotton jersey that I got from Pound Fabrics. Can't remember how much it was. It was in one of my fabric hauls, but it was really just cheap fabric that I wanted to just trial it one because I'd never made a hoodie before. And I already failed at the first hurdle because my eyelets have to be put in with a hammer, and obviously because it was 6:30 I couldn't do that part of it because my baby was in bed or was going to bed, so I wasn't able to do that part of it. So I did as much as I could along the sew along on the night without putting the eyelets in. So there were certain bits that I couldn't do, and then I finished it off this week. But this is my hoodie, and I'm really pleased with it. So I used the jersey for the hood detail. It's got all the way around it this like casing for the cord. I did have the smallest eyelets in the world and the thickest cord in the world, so that was a bit challenging. I ironed on this patch to match the cherries there, just to make it a bit more bright and cheerful. It has these balloon sleeves which are gathered in, which was fairly easy to do, and I've got separate cuffing, which is not an exact colour match, but you can't notice it. And then these toggles, I call them toggles, I've got these toggles on the end to match, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'll insert a photograph. It's very, very comfy. It just fits above the waist, so it is cropped, but you could lengthen it if you wanted to, and I think some people did do that, and it's been amazing to see all the different versions of it, different like interpretations. There's been some really, really beautiful ones. I know Ruan from the Yorkshire Sew Girl did a white with, she did a cherry actually on it. I didn't copy you, Ruan, I promise. I had purchased this beforehand. She did a white hoodie with red and pink lining, striped lining, and as I say, put a cherry on it. That was really beautiful. Rachel's from Stitched Up was lovely, and then in the Stitched Up Facebook group there's loads of different ones, which it was just a joy to look at. And then that links me into my next make, which was wanted to do a t-shirt to match, so I used the jersey that I did the hood in and made this boxy t-shirt. And oh, that's my little label that says handmade. You see that? Handmade with love. I really need to get a better camera. And this is an Ellie and Mac pattern boxy tee. I think it was like £3 something. And yeah, I really like this. As I've said to you, I really am finding that I like boxy style tops. So any recommendations of any boxy tops that you know are out there, let me know, because I'm definitely a boxy top girl. So yeah, this is really lovely. I put a photograph in of me. Very easy make. I thought the neckband wouldn't be stretchy enough, but it was, and it's lovely. I didn't do twin needle on this. I did top stitch with the zigzag for the hem. And as I say, I think will take the time to do the twin needle, but it's a lovely casual t-shirt, which, as I say, I needed a lot more of these. Very simple sew, did most of it on the overlocker bar the hem. So again, whip this up really quickly. And then the final make, I have been very busy. The final make was in the Stitched Up Facebook group. I can't remember who it was that posted it, but said that Chalk and Notch were doing a collaboration where they wanted to see the Page hoodie and True Bias Hudson pant combinations by this Friday. So that was a challenge for me, wasn't it? So I quickly purchased the True Bias Hudson pants, which were on my list to buy actually, to be fair. And I had some lovely sweatshirting from Thirst for Fabrics that I had purchased. and it's really soft. And I use the blue sweatshirting left over from the Page hoodie and made some Hudson pants. I omitted the cord detail because I just couldn't be bothered, and I'd watched a lot of YouTubers say they just don't think that it needs it. So yeah, I didn't do that part of it. And I had cuffing for the feet, but for the top and the pocket detail I used the same material as the hoodie. And I was really worried. They are low-waisted, but I wanted to make them up as per the pattern and then maybe alter them. There is a tutorial on the True Bias website to higher the waistband up, but I wanted to make them as per the pattern, which I did. Before I'd attach the waistband and I just tried the legs on, I was very worried about A, how low they would be, and B, how tight they felt. They are meant to be tight fitting, like a slim fit, but I was a bit uncomfortable that every lump and bump was going to show. But actually, once the waistband was attached and the elastic was put in, they felt much better. And after wearing them for a bit, they kind of stretch out a bit and didn't feel as so restricting. So I don't know whether next time I might put an extra, I might grade out a little bit just to give me a little bit more movement. But they're not tight as in they're restrictive, but I just think I'd quite like a baggier fit. But they're really lovely, really, again, so quick. It took me a couple of hours to make, and I now have a full outfit for lounging around the house, which is great. So did I have any problems with it? Didn't have any problems at all, really. Did it all on the overlocker. And yeah, again, for a beginner, this is a really good pattern. The pockets are absolutely beautiful. I love how those have come together, and you can make it really interesting as well with corresponding fabric. So yeah, so I've had a really, really productive week this week. I've increased my comfy clothes, and I've got the tools now to get that zip put in that outfit. So I'm feeling confident going into that. What are the things that I've done? So I've done some cutting out. I have cut out ready for next week. I'm looking over here because they're all here. I've had the kilo wrap dress cut out for ages, but I was waiting for some overlocker thread that matched the colour. So I've got my kilo wrap dress cut out in this fabric. I'll show it the screen. In this lovely like animal print cream beige and black jersey that I got from Stitch and Ink Fabrics. I haven't got any left in stock at the moment, but I think there are some shops that have got it. I have to have a look, and if I can find it, I'll put it in the notes. That's been cut out for ages, so I want to get that sewn up this week. Hoping it'll be quite a simple sew using the overlocker. So yeah, that's definitely on the cards to get sewn up this week. The next thing that I've cut out is the Jalie Emilie sweater, turtleneck sweater, which I talked about on my last Fridaysews. It's a free pattern, and I want to make the final garment in the Lady McElroy woolly knit fabric that I got in one of my fabric hauls. But before I do that, I wanted to try it out on a kind of twirl, wearable twirl, I suppose. So I got this fabric from Sew Me Sunshine, and it's this gorgeous kind of biscuity colour, soft sweater knit. Oh, it's so nice. And I've cut that out, and that's ready to sew up. So I want to get that sewed up this week. Check that I'm happy with the fix. It's got a lot of ease in it, this pattern. So I'm a little bit worried it might be too big, but again, I can just take stuff out the sides. But I do like an oversized boxy top, so I think it'll be fine. So that's on my plans to do as well, and I can use the same overlocker thread on my kilo wrap dress as I will on that. So that's a bonus. And then the final thing that I cut out, done a lot of cutting out this week, is the Monroe turtleneck from Tessuti, which is again another free pattern, and in this gorgeous stripy rib jersey from Crafty Girl Maria. I have read about this pattern that some of the arms come up quite tight, so I'm a little bit worried about that, but I have cut the pattern out as per my size, so we'll see what happens and I'll feedback next week on that. So yeah, so they're my plans for next week. The other thing I wanted to talk about was some free patterns. Seamwork, who I've talked about before, they have one free pattern already, which is the York top photo there, but they've also launched a new one called the sorbetto, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's got this box pleat detail down the front here, so a picture, made for woven, and it's got bust darts and this gorgeous box pleat down the front. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and the fact that it's a free pattern I think is amazing. And it's a version with a sleeve, without a sleeve, and the one without a sleeve takes 0.9 meters of fabric, so it's a real good scrap buster as well. So I bet you could get it out of less than that as well. So yeah, that is a really good pattern to check out. The other company that I think, if you like free patterns, who doesn't like free patterns, especially if you like sewing with linen, is fabrics.com. They have probably 40 patterns on there. They're all made in linen, but you can use other fabrics. You don't have to use linen, but the pictures that they show and the samples are all done in linen because they specialise in selling linen. But they have got absolutely loads of patterns on there, really gorgeous. Everything, trousers, dresses, tops. So check them out because they've got some really lovely patterns. So yeah, they're the free patterns that I wanted to tell you about. Other things that I wanted to tell you about is new patterns. Probably you know this already, but Tilly and the Buttons have launched their new pattern, which is a cardigan, and I've actually just forgotten the name, has completely gone out of my head what that's called. I'll insert a picture and the name of it, and it's this wrap over ballet style cardigan, which is really, really cute. So they've just launched that, which is really nice. And then also Seamworks again have launched a Keaton blazer, which is really, really nice. So if you're looking for a blazer, quite a relaxed fit but still got some kind of shape to it, check that out because it's really nice. And their size range is up to a size 26 as well, so not as inclusive as Tilly and the Buttons patterns, which I checked that size range out. That goes to a size UK size 6 to 34, so that's a really inclusive size range. But yeah, they're the other new pattern releases. That Keaton you do have to pay for, or if you're a member of Seamworks, you can obviously download that depending on your setup. I hope you've enjoyed my video. It's quite a long one. I'm hoping I can edit some of my ramblings out to make it a bit shorter. But yeah, as I say, please subscribe if you don't already. So keen to hit the 1,000 subscribers. I'm thinking of doing some kind of giveaway when I get close to that point, but I'll keep you posted on that next Friday. And yeah, please comment. I've been having such wonderful chats with all of you lot about sewing. Made some friends already, which is great, and we're already talking about meeting up and stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I'm just so grateful to be part of this community. And yeah, I just want to end it all by saying I hope you have a great sewing week, and I'll see you soon. Happy sewing. Bye.